Hey guys, tonight we're heading to a place you've surely heard of, but one you wouldn't want to linger in medieval Europe. More precisely, you'll get a taste of what life was like as a child there. Spoiler alert, survival isn't likely. The chances are truly against you right from that initial desperate gasp. Without vaccines, no dental floss, no online access, and certainly no convenient juice packs. So, before settling in, take a second to hit like on the video and subscribe, but only if you truly appreciate what I create here. And share in the comments what time it is for you and which city you're tuning in from. Now, lower the lights, perhaps switch on a fan for that gentle ambient noise. And let's gently embark on tonight's adventure together. It's early morning, and a chill slips beneath the wooden door of a cottage darkened by smoke. You're entering a world that doesn't exactly welcome newborns with open arms. If your mother is fortunate, a midwife is present, though calling her that is generous. She's likely just the local woman who's assisted with a handful of births and thinks hanging garlic by the head wards off malevolent spirits. The space reeks of aged straw, smoldering peat, and faint drifts of manure coming through the wall's windowless openings. The bed is hardly a proper one. It's a hay-filled sack that creaks with every shift of your mother's body. The sole light comes from a flickering flame that's been fading for hours. That fire holds significance. It fills the air with haze, yet it also battles the frost. Folks maintain it around the clock, particularly during winter. But as a newborn, you're covered in blood and can only manage a faint whimper. The women chant prayers blending Latin and regional tongues. They apply salt to your skin, real salt, as though you're a piece of meat being cured. It's meant to strengthen you and offer protection. Naturally, you despise it and start wailing, which is actually encouraging. Some infants don't reach that point. And if you imagined being gently cleaned and wrapped in a soft towel, think again. You're likely wiped with a linen cloth reused for countless deliveries. Sterility isn't a notion here. Folks don't link unclean instruments or hands to disease. So, if you contract something at birth, it's attributed to destiny or perhaps divine retribution. Medieval folks have a fondness for attributing random misfortunes to higher powers. You'd expect joy over a new arrival, but truthfully, reactions are guarded optimism at most. Your initial days are a tense vigil. Everyone observes if you breathe steadily, feed properly, and, well, stay alive. Naming doesn't happen immediately. Your kin might delay for days or until baptism, since naming a child unlikely to last the week invites misfortune. The rate of infant deaths is harsh. 1 in 3 doesn't reach their first year, and half won't live to be adults. Births aren't marked with sweets and decorations. People murmur optimistic phrases and avoid deep attachments. And if you anticipated tender lullabies, you might hear them, but they're likely sung amid weaving or pot stirring. Existence doesn't halt for your birth. Your mother could return to tasks within hours or days, perhaps securing you to her front while managing the fire or foraging herbs in the forest. Infant care lacks modern perks like parental leave. If your mother isn't laboring, there's no food. It's straightforward. Something that might catch you off guard is the shared nature of raising kids. You're not solely your parents' charge. You're handed among villagers like an ingredient in a communal dish. Elder siblings, locals, or a passing monk could take shifts cradling you or adjusting your wrap. Speaking of wrapping, swaddling isn't the adorable burrito-style bundle seen on social media nowadays. Instead, you're enveloped from head to foot in lengthy fabric strips that completely restrict your limbs. You're essentially a medieval bundle. This continues for months. Folks think it ensures straight bone growth and shields you from tumbles or mishaps, but mainly it prevents you from thrashing and distracting adults from essential duties. You're not meant to shift independently. If you squirm excessively, the bindings are tightened. If you wail too loudly, you might be suspended from a nail. That may sound awful, but it's accurate. Mothers occasionally hang bundled infants from wall hooks or beams to elevate them above filthy floors and away from rodents or flames. You're simply hanging there like a medieval satchel equipped with cries. Comfortable, isn't it? A fringe fact. Certain medieval parents thought changelings' fairy substitutes could replace their true child. If you cried excessively, appeared frail, or simply seemed off, concerns arose that fairies had abducted you and left an impostor. Rituals existed, ranging from benign to dreadful, to compel the fairies to restore the genuine child. These might include abandoning the baby outdoors overnight, or positioning them near flames. Child welfare regulations weren't established yet. Historians continue to discuss the emotional connections in medieval households. Some contend that elevated infant death rates led parents to remain detached or practical. Others maintain that folks deeply mourned and valued their children, despite life's demands forcing different behaviors. No clear agreement exists. Personal accounts and documents are sparse. Much of that era's inner world is lost beneath layers of haze and quietude. But presently, none of that concerns you. You're famished, partially sighted, and baffled by all around you. The noises of creatures outside, the goats bleating, chickens clucking, sporadic barks are already woven into your existence. You'll encounter them daily for however long you endure, which might be extensive or fleeting. Welcome to being a child in the Middle Ages. You've endured a few days truly remarkable. The local midwife gives an approving nod, as if you've cleared a hurdle, and now arrives your formal introduction to both kin and faith. Baptism. You're likely still rigidly wrapped when carried to the village chapel, which is essentially a single chilly chamber of stone, soil, and accumulated faded aspirations. No colorful glass panes, perhaps merely tiny irregular openings admitting scant light. The ground is compacted earth, moist from years of tears and dripped wax. Its scents of incense, mildew, and countless unlaundered garments. Delightful. The priest isn't notably affectionate. He's an elderly figure who intones in Latin and regards your small, wriggling form with uncertainty, unsure if to admire or irritate. He's witnessed too many like you arrive and depart. He immerses his fingers in a basin of water possibly sourced from a stream, pail, or recent downpour. Its origin is unknown. Crucially, it's frigid, shockingly skin-tingling cold, and it's soon to cascade over your head. You dislike this. The water strikes your scalp and trickles into your ears. Now you're crying once more, loudly and desperately. But that's fine. It's a positive indicator. Crying signals vitality. And if you're wailing amid baptism, the silent onlookers might finally relax. This ceremony is thought to safeguard your soul from everlasting condemnation. Thus, even if your earthly form doesn't persist, your spirit is secured. Priorities. There are one or two godparents present, perhaps a relative or neighbor scarcely familiar with your name, but consenting to intervene should misfortune befall your parents. Considering lifespans and plagues lurking like unseen killers, that's a genuine risk. Following the priest's Latin chants, he marks a cross on your brow and delivers a concluding douse of sacred water. At last, you're a legitimate Christian youngster. Hooray! Now you receive a name, not an inventive one, though. Likely Agnes or Bartholomew, or if your parents are particularly pious, a saintly moniker like Sebastian or Claire. No space for creativity. No Luna, Chi, or XAA12. As a medieval infant, you acquire a sturdy biblical label and bear it like armor throughout your days. Fun fringe fact. Certain names were selected to baffle demons or commemorate plague victims. You might bear the name of a deceased elder sibling. So, yes, shoulder that legacy. You head home, christened and bundled. It's still chilly, always chilly. Your dwelling lacks insulation, merely thatch, clay, and fervent wishes for the fire to remain alight. Your parents suspend herbs above your resting area, probably to repel spirits or ailments, a fusion of folklore and primitive remedies. Folks don't grasp germs, but they do accept the idea of harmful vapors termed miasma. Foul odors signify poor health. Thus, clusters of dried lavender, thyme, or mint dangle from overhead beams, swaying softly in the smoky atmosphere like a medieval crib toy. You're nourished when you cry, provided your mother can breastfeed. If not, a wet nurse might step in, a village woman compensated with provisions or fabric to feed you. If unavailable, it's goat's milk or diluted ale. Indeed, ale. Mild beer is frequently safer than local water. No one's providing you with apple juice in a cup. You're receiving hydration medieval style, one method or another. Physicians of the era view beer as warming and sustaining. They also posit that dietary adjustments can harmonize bodily humors, which is charming in a sorrowful manner. Sterile bottles don't exist. If you can't nurse or sip from a vessel, they could craft a rudimentary nipple from hide or textile. You're gnawing on leather drenched in barley paste, that's your meal. Nutritionally dubious, delightfully textured, and doubtless teeming with microbes. But your system is already fortifying itself. Or perhaps you'll spike a fever come morning. Now, regarding your accommodations, no private chamber or cradle for you. You likely share a bed with parents or siblings if fortunate. Occasionally, you're on the floor, wrapped near the hearth, praying no ember lands on you. Diapers? Absent. Instead, fabric wraps are swapped when saturated. If you soil yourself, that's simply the household aroma now. One of the odder fringe convictions in your era. Some parents truly think sneezing indicates your soul remains contained. If you go without sneezing or crying for a stretch, panic ensues, and someone might ignite rosemary by your head. That's healing. That's reasoning. That's medieval child rearing. And the academics? Oh, they endlessly contend about how much medieval folks truly valued infants. Some claim children were seen as budding adults, receiving scant emotional focus. Others assert that despite adversities, parents forged profound bonds and mourned deeply. Proving it is tough, though. Most from that time left no elaborate emotional records. A shattered pottery shard or baptism entry is the extent of evidence. Interpret freely. What's undeniable is that your endurance demands constant vigilance. Your parents don't slumber soundly. They're perpetually semi-alert, attuned to your cries, verifying your breaths, tweaking your rap, invoking a pantheon of saints. A subtle strain permeates the air, an awareness that demise could arrive unannounced. It frequently does. Infant mortality isn't abstract data. It's domestic truth. But presently, you're vital. A squeaking, milky-scented, firmly encased promise of tomorrow. You possess a name, an official soul, and a nook in the dwelling. You're integrated into a realm that will soon demand much from you. For the moment, mere existence suffices. Each inhalation, each sneeze, each coo is a modest wonder. Your days merge in a fog of dimness, haze, and the perpetual irritation of wool. You're bound so securely that your limbs resemble fixtures now rigid and immobile, akin to diminutive rustic limbs crafted from breadsticks. The swaddling persists for months, no overstatement. You're folded, enveloped, tucked, and occasionally layered twice over based on the chill. Liberty of motion isn't the atmosphere. You can't itch, extend, or even thumb suck unless a binding is slackened sufficiently for a hand to emerge like a confined specter. It's not that your parents aim for cruelty. They sincerely believe restraining your form straight aids proper bone development. It's rudimentary orthopedics, medieval edition. But you're unaware of that. You simply recline like a compact human wrap, gazing at the beams and hearing chickens scratch beneath the floor. Yes, chickens under the boards. Perhaps a pig as well. Many households shelter livestock indoors in colder seasons to deter thieves and harness the surprising warmth pigs emit. So, you're swathed in fabric, covered by sheepskin, and enveloped in pig exhalations and peat fumes. Home sweet home. At times, your mother or an elder sibling props you in a cradle, or more often, a repurposed wooden trough serving as an infant bed. These rock mildly if jostled, pleasant until a firm bump tips you aside. Cushioning is typically straw or aged cloth. You lie blinking, salivating, observing firelight flicker on walls. No spinning ornament dangles overhead, but perhaps a suspended herb cluster or wooden talisman repels nightmares and lice, though chiefly nightmares. Occasionally, they secure you to a plank of flat wood piece with straps, like a medieval infant board. This allows safe propping against a wall while parents handle daily routines. Your duty is to remain silent and avoid tumbling into flames. That aspect is vital. Central open hearths mean mishaps are frequent. Infants sometimes roll into coals, explaining the rigorous swaddling. Immobility prevents hazardous crawling. Another tactic your mother employs, suspending you from a rafter. Not alarmingly relax. She lifts your wrapped form and hangs it from a solid beam via cloth sling or basket. You're elevated, distant from keen implements, and crucially, beyond rat reach. Rats pose ongoing threats. They crave heat, scraps, and tender nibbles on infant digits. Thus, you're a suspended infant, dangling above flames like a diminutive vocal decoration. Snug. Relief arrives during changes, when wraps loosen briefly. The cool air on your moist, flushed skin is the day's peak. Yet even then, you're rubbed with a rag rinsed in the river, the same stream used for washing clothes, dishes, and sporadic carcass disposal. Your immunity seems exasperated. Nourishment remains consistent. Maternal milk if possible, a wet nurse if fortunate, or mushy slurry steeped in ale. Feeding entails fabric dipped in oat gruel or goat milk, inserted carefully, or less so, into your mouth. You choke, splutter, and sometimes succeed. It's inelegant, but caloric. Retaining it is another challenge. And teething, that's a medieval nightmare unto itself. Teeth haven't erupted yet, but they're imminent. Folks deem teething legitimately perilous, potentially fatal. Fever? Attribute to teeth. Rash? Teeth too. Diarrhea? Demonic teeth. So, when your gums inflate and you gnaw your fist like a frenzied rodent, adults panic. Some apply honey to gums. Others offer stale bread rinds or leather strips. A common remedy: teething amulet, a fragment of bone or coral strung around your neck to deter spirits and avert incisor-related demise. In select regions, early teething signals infernal sway. Yes, diabolical infant teeth. Nothing encapsulates medieval welcome like a priest eyeing your gums suspiciously. Yet, amid this peculiar parenting, you're somewhat cherished. Your mother observes you ceaselessly, not solely to confirm respiration, but because in this harsh, peculiar realm, you embody fragility and optimism. She croons softly to you at dusk lullabies inherited from interred grandmothers, melodies of lambs, holy figures, and evading wolves. They're curiously soothing. Meanwhile, academics persist in debating if parents adored children as contemporaries do. Some posit high mortality deterred deep attachments. Others claim bonds were authentic, manifested via care, invocations, and protective routines. Truth likely resides midway, concealed in fractured scrolls and church ledger edges. But here's an undisputed fact. Infant survival in the Middle Ages is improbable. Maladies, inadequate cleanliness, accidents, and arbitrary misfortune lurk behind every straw bale. No nearby physician, perhaps a knowledgeable woman, adept with botanicals rather than infant temperatures or choking crises. Reaching your first birthday eases tensions. Until then, each day is a minor triumph. For now, you're largely a mute observer to medieval life's peculiar, frigid cadence. No playthings, no timetables, no charted progress markers. Just heat, sustenance if fortunate, and avoiding falls. Cling to those, and you might glimpse beyond your hazy village nook. The fire pops louder today. You've lingered in this world sufficiently to emit sounds beyond mere gurgles and shrieks. You're likely flopping in your wrap like a startled minnow, eyes wide, gums glistening with impending trouble. Indeed, teething has commenced. It proceeds as anticipated in a realm sans chilled rings, doctors, or empathy for your incessant drool. You're chewing everything, a cloth soaked in ale, a once rinsed stone. If your family is fortunate or marginally affluent, meaning they own extra attire, you might receive a smoothed bone or carved stick to gnaw. But chiefly, It's rigid bread, firm as masonry and roughly as sanitary as the ground. You suck and chew till the rind softens to sludge. The crust originates from a 3-day-old loaf dried by the hearth expressly for this. Medieval fare where even infants commence jaw exercises. Naturally, you're irritable. You've got fever, rash, and cries hitting a precise frequency that leaves the household teetering on hysteria. No genuine remedy exists for your distress. A village sage might propose gum-rubbed herb mash bitter, odorous from tansy or wormwood. It tastes fatal and aids minimally. Yet tradition endures. Now the endearing segment. Your mother or grandmother, if surviving, might cradle your swaddled, teething self and enact a minor safeguard charm. Nothing elaborate, perhaps a whispered verse, or thrice encircling your head with rosemary. It aligns with notions that ailment isn't merely bodily. It could be ethereal. Perhaps an ill spirit has gazed upon you. That's a concept, incidentally. Being overlooked implies a wrong glance curses you with colic or hiccups. Utterly rational. And then the frog. Yes, the frog. In specific medieval European locales, folks believed rubbing a live frog on your face cured teething or rashes, the slime extracting illness. Others favored pocketing the frog around your neck like a repulsive, squelchy pendant. You lack input. One instant you're wailing in your cradle. The next, a chilly amphibian slaps your cheek. You're not unique. Everyone's frog rubbed eventually. Meanwhile, your rest pattern is chaos. Nights are extended and frosty, your cradle perpetually too near or distant from flames. No household member slumbers deeply. You awaken crying. They rouse irritated, and the hut envelops in that familiar 3 a.m. strain known to parents eternally. Except here, walls are earthen, and baths haven't occurred since harvest. You've likely acquired your inaugural genuine cough. Perhaps your nose leaks like a punctured wineskin. Maybe graver. Uncertainty prevails. Germ concepts are uninvented. If ill, blame climate or a specter, or perhaps your father neglected a church offering. Better ignite a candle. Better invoke St. Blaise, sore throat patron. You're yet too youthful for speech, but your utterances matter. Adults heed proper inflections. A robust, vital wail is favorable. A feeble whimper, ominous. You babble sporadically, and someone deems you blessed or cursed based on melodic quality. Melodious babies are often viewed as angel or demon-touched. Distinction blurs with a soggy rap and cries amid incense clouds. Let's recall siblings, if any, and most medieval kids have them, since contraception is centuries distant. They're not especially tender. An elder sister might rock your cradle excessively. A brother could prod you with a stick to confirm vitality. Your amusement, irritation, and warning bundled. The toddler phase isn't acknowledged as a distinct stage. You're either a mobile lump or budding laborer. This period sees increased caring still wrapped, but occasionally balanced on a hip, slung in fabric, or fastened to your mother's back during goat milking. You're handled like baggage-warm, hefty, mildly vocal baggage. No prams, no bouncers, just manual toil and inventive linen uses. Humorously, you likely reek of smoke, curdled milk, and recent herbal smear on gums. Everyone does. Bathing is sporadic. When occurring, water's cold, soap lye derived, tub communal. Thus, your odor bothers none, it signifies life. The deceased smell pleasant, folks say. Reassuring, eh? Regarding your parents, they might already envision your path. Not aspirationally, but apprenticing you somewhere. Children are assets. Surviving past 5 means contributing not mere tasks, genuine work, but not yet. Presently, you're in fire-proximate, sniffly endurance mode. Some scholars posit this medieval infancy forged resilience, early indifference to discomfort and pain. Others suggest unspoken trauma. After all, this era lacks counseling or introspective parenting resources. Kids are reared via instinct, communal lore, and sporadic frogs. Yet despite flame's haze, frogs, unwashed cradles, perpetual random demise threats, you're present. You've navigated the toughest wrapped months. You're drooling, hacking, nipping, grasping life with plump fists. Your kin begins believing you'll endure. You don't recall it, but eventually you're fastened to furnishings. Not playfully, not as primitive safety parenting, but the pragmatic means to preserve you. You've escaped swaddling several times. Your legs kick, arms wave. A tooth has emerged, emboldening you. Abruptly, you're a roving peril in a dwelling rife with open fires, keen tools, simmering vessels, and indifferent trampling beasts. So, your mother secures you to a bench, an ordinary one. Perhaps sturdy lumber with excess nails and splinters. She employs available materials, linen strips, leather, frayed apron edge, and binds your torso loosely for breathing, tightly against tipping. Occasionally, while hearth adjacent and unsupervised, she'll anchor your cradle to a beam or wedge you amid grain sacks for immobility. This is your existence. Restrained, monitored, largely upright. You whimper slightly, but no one hurries. Crying is ambient sound. Every hut hosts at least one child doing so. You've integrated into the village soundscape. Hens clucking, wooden spoon scraping pot, your shrill protests against fire pit injustice. And clarify, the fire captivates you most. Warm, dancing, central, adults perpetually nearby. You're eager for proximity, explaining your tethering like a disgruntled kid goat. No barriers, no safeguards. The hearth perpetually glows, often topped by a sooty iron cauldron from a bent hook. Anytime, someone adds log, cabbage, rat if stew-bound, or stale barley. Your part in this culinary play is staying distant and non-flammable. Success varies. Child burns are commonplace. Scars mark maturation. At least now you're mature enough for minor liberties. You're permitted to handle items, rocks, sticks, shattered pottery, perhaps a forgotten dull blade. You investigate surroundings with oblivious curiosity, ignorant of infection. You suck spoons, ingest ash, chew chicken feathers until extracted. The world is a feast. You're indulging. Your mother might position you doorway adjacent on mild days, light filtering, observing comings and goings. The lane is mud straw, lined with carts, dogs, occasional herded sheep market bound. You relish the bustle, despite manure sweat odors. This is your diversion, no marionettes. No music devices, just unfiltered, incessant life passing the threshold. Meanwhile, your kin discusses you as an individual, now a petite, unreliable one, but one. They note reactions, screams at approaching geese, laughs at sneezes. You've acquired words or noises parents claim as such. All actions are scrutinized, not for character, but utility. Are you robust? Vigilant? Clever typically meaning avoiding pig trough faceplants? Fringe fact. In certain European areas, precociously clever children raised suspicions. Excessive babbling, early walking, or toddler queries prompted wonders of supernatural touch. Changelings perhaps, or fate marked. Some families suppress this, adorning with charms, moonlight avoidance, even reduced feeding to discourage spiritual growth. No stress. While your family nurtures with effort, resources strain. Food scarce, rest fragmented. Your mother's hands sore from laundering and water hauling. Your father absent days, toiling unowned land, or settling incomprehensible taxes. Siblings already labor somewhat, yet here you are, bench-bound, chewing vaguely edible, observing chickens pilfer floor grain. Scholars occasionally debate medieval parents' child development awareness. Some claim kids viewed as mini-adults, mind-skipping infancy childhood, urging productivity ASAP. Others note nuance. Even in 1300s, childhood phases recognized via rituals and evolving expectations. Laws differentiated ages, particularly nobility. But for peasant you, no celebrations or trackers, just today and not yet hearth-fallen. And someone's always observing, even seemingly not a grandmother invoking while mending cloak, cousin glancing while porridge stirring, neighbor verifying knapside breaths. Herein, community equals survival. It takes a village not sentimentally, but due to high mortality and scant time. Today you might endure till dusk unharmed. You'll slumber with legs prickling from prolonged binding. Fire dims. Someone drapes woven wool over your frame. You'll dream infant dreams milk, warmth, that staring goat. You're secure momentarily, held not by crib or monitor, but this world's stubborn, smoke-laden endeavor to sustain you. It unfolds gradually, nearly unnoticed. You've gnawed everything visible, emitting dubious squishy sounds while nibbling table legs in blanket corners. Then one day, biting cloth yields a crack that noise. A tooth, your initial tiny spike piercing gum like pale rock in crimson soil. Congratulations, you've formally entered medieval teething torment phase 2. Spoiler, unenjoyable. No baby's first tooth snapshot, no thrilled journal note, just your mother observing increased drool, cheesy breath, and newfound baseless nighttime shrieks. Everyone sighs. Here we go. Another extended effort to sustain, soothe, and preserve you amid mouth betrayal. Your gums bulge like overripe berries, furious and sensitive. You shriek, biting desperately for relief. Bread rinds, aged wool, spoons, anything's chewable. You're a vengeful pup. But gnawing suffices not. Fevers commence. Forehead clammy, cries escalate. Your mother fans with apron, invoking Saint Apollonia. Dental crisis, Saint despite dentistry's non-existence. Better cautious. Here's the issue. Medievals don't distinguish teething from disease. Sickness during eruption, tooth's blame. Fever, tooth. Diarrhea, tooth. Eye infection, possessed tooth, likely infiltrated demon. Teething becomes omnipotent antagonist. Caretakers attempt all. Honey on gums, herbal poultices, cheek soot smearing for inflammation extraction. Some deem sweating pain essential, so you're hot wrapped till nearly cooked. Superstitious homes add charms wolf tooth strung neckward, dried herb pouch shirt tucked. In German regions, burning cradle straw and wind-scattering ashes alleviates tooth curse. Desperation prompts burying frogs house under. Frogs, again. Always amphibians in this healing framework. You're growing wary of their involvement. While gums throb, body heats, appetite wanes, toughness is expected. No pampering. Excessive cries exhaust welcome. Siblings tire of your voice. Mother requires free hands for spinning, cooking, patching, mending, hauling, and possibly another infant. You're not her universe, just one flame in a vaster blaze. Meanwhile, subtle, unspoken dread lingers. What if beyond teething? What if touched? Excessive nighttime cries categorize as other changeling fairy-placed fraud. Villages harbor deep fears. If suffering unnatural violent flailing, rolling eyes, rigid limbs, they might exceed herbs' prayers. Medicine ritual boundary blurs. Old logs note children fire pit adjacent to observe, or water held and whispered to. Sometimes innocuous, sometimes not. Mostly tragic. Parents attempting anything to halt ceaseless cries, reduce fever, endure night. Now, amid chaos, a peculiar historical nugget. European locales believed top first tooth versus bottom cursed you specifically vampiric destiny. Literal post-mortem blood drinker. Tough village reputation where secrets spread. Hope teeth sequence correctly. Scholars grapple with belief sincerity. Some view vampire lore as amplified local myth. Others contend medieval Europe held intricate, earnest child illness supernatural web. Real, imagined perils porous, especially rural. Medicine, faith, folklore intermingled in mildly terrifying broth. Of course, while gums pulse and brain simmers feverishly, village proceeds. No work halts for sick baby. Carts creak muddy paths. Church bell tolls morning mist. Father perhaps ditching manor-wise. Elder siblings field-bound, crow scaring or dung gathering. Mother hums pot stirring, occasionally dabbing your brow with once white cloth. You cry, babble, fitfully sleep, body persisting. Eventually, fortune favoring, fever subsides. Tooth completes horrid path. You cease aggressive furniture gnawing. Village quiets whispers. Mother palms your chest, sensing deep breath stays first. Unspoken, all think. This one might survive. You're tougher, not stronger precisely, but tempered. Your forms endured more than some contemporary adults. And impending tooth? You'll shriek, but perhaps briefly. Maybe mother recalls effective trick. Maybe frogs rest. You've overcome another bizarre, ancient medieval childhood ordeal. You've been herb-rubbed, cursed, likely blessed, and certainly flea-bitten mid-fever. Yet here you are, teething, flourishing, one molar nearer yearly survival. You're walking now, not skillfully, not assuredly, and certainly not quietly. Your strides are awkward, wide-stanced, resembling potato sacks rolling downhill. But it's formal. You've joined the ambulatory ranks. You stagger across uneven dirt floor, arms elevated like a tipsy diminutive monk bestowing unsolicited benediction. Occasionally, you plummet face first into straw or less agreeable. But aid arrives only if bleeding. Here, falling accompanies walking, surviving. Now mobile autonomously, the world expands and it's unprepared. The family's hut, once cozy cocoon, now medieval hazard course. Sharp edges, open fires, boiling cauldrons, slick floors, livestock. You waddle amid goat legs, under tables, over wood piles. A sibling crowns you with bowl, dubbing Sir Knight, for glorious 10 seconds, your room's mightiest. Then pig trip. Yes, pig 1 or 2. They slumber hearth corner, snoring like damp accordions. Daily tail stepping. Chickens flee your advances. Mother glances constantly from spinning or weaving to track wanderings. Your ambulatory mishap imminent. She grasps you when possible, but back-turned, your broomstick gnawing or chamber pot licking. Hygiene? Unencountered never will be, frankly. Your diet evolves too. Milk human or goat no longer sole sustenance. Now mashed or thinned adult fare. Stewed veggies, pottage, broth dunked bread bits, fortunate spoonful egg or cheese sliver. Mostly thick gray porridge with enigmatic specs herbs or prior remnants. You hand eat. Spoons untrusted yet. You cram food faceward with consequence-ignorant zeal. Eat till mid-bite nap. You consume beer, now small beer, diluted child or sick variant. Not heavily alcoholic medieval electrolyte. Safer than water, streams browned by carcasses or leaky privies. Unboiled, it's dysentery handshake. So beer, cheers toddler. Naturally, not all agrees. Sometimes cramps. Diarrhea strikes mid-step, fate accepted. No panic, they wipe. River rinse cloths. Perhaps pray it's not worse onset. Here, gut issues gateway myriad ills, few concluding happily. Meanwhile, you're speaking sort of. Words emerge half-formed. Maternal accent mush, paternal swears, priest chants. Key terms, fire, goat, bread, no. You echo everything, including profanities eliciting laughs or raised brows. Some homes foster language via rhymes or songs. Others demand silence or avoidance. Varies by razors or sleep levels. A fringe notion infiltrating. Children nearest spiritual realm. Freshly born, unsullied by sin, folks think you perceive ghosts or angels or devil. Prolonged corner giggle, prayer mutters. Nightly timed cries, invisible visitor suspicions, quiet tales of toddlers seeing unseen, conversing invisible figures. You're oblivious to induced existential dread, merely entranced by shadows or firewall dance. By now, you've endured first true malady. 3-day fever, back-spreading rash like fantasy map, wet rattly cough, spoon-fed grim onion honey beetle, syrup. Mother sat hours, gaze shifting face chest verifying breaths. No thermometer, but she knows dying child's heat. She's sensed it before, perhaps excessively. You recover barely. Lighter, quieter, briefly less turbulent. Hair patchy. You reek sweat smoke fever, but eyes clear, backstick poking chickens. Life stubbornly, clumsily persists. Scholars puzzle medieval family care survival balance. Some believe childhood hastened, walking or talking prompting adulthood nudge. Others cite lullabies, carvings, records indicating profound love or mourning. Truth likely dual. Love unprotected from toil or early death. Woven daily mother humming sore dressing. Father carving, misspelled name above sleep spot. Today you evade harm. Mother briefly smiles at rock tower. Siblings permit half-minute chase before duties. Sun sinks tree line. You slumber pig curled, warm, alive. You're two now, and time to be useful trails you like foul odor which you also emit. Medieval childhood concept isn't self-exploration or spark finding. It's survival, input, cow kick avoidance. While no field plowing yet, you commence minimal weight pulling. Your shoes, if any, are leather scraps gut string tied. Mismatched, one tight, other plumb hole, but shoes. Most kids barefoot spring fall, soles toughening like mini warriors. But your fortunate feet protected implies longevity expectation. Now ambulatory, command following, occasionally aimed urination, your official household contributor. Nothing major. But help expected. Firewood one stick carrying, grain bug picking, knife holding chicken stilling. You misunderstand often, but learn mouth shut, hands busy. Early task, fire tending not managing, risky but twig gathering, coal blowing, kindling stacking. Fire's life, heat, food, light, sometimes penalty. Respect taught early, even as it hisses at pink fingers. If garden patched and most or you start tedious agriculture, soil rock picking, cabbage patting, weed staring while readiness assessed for pulling sans uprooting all. Wrong? No yells, just heavy sighs implying abandonment. Medieval motivation, guilt or time waste fear. You shadow siblings, gift or curse. Playmates, yes. First supervisors, too. One teaches trip-free water fetching. Another egg carrying sans crushing though 2/3 drop. Lessons. Failure met, should have taught goat looks. Character building, supposedly. And play exists, sort of. Permitted circle running or puddle pebble tossing while pot boils. Self-entertain with sticks, string, exciting bugs, wool-bit puppets, straw knot horses. Imagination wild not encouraged, but necessity born. A favored job, bird chasing, not constant, but importance feeling. Family provides stick or pot lid, perhaps both sends barley sprouting fieldward. Task, feather yell, bang pot, wave stick, half-circle chaotic windmill run. Hour-long, tiring, oddly enjoyable till goose pursues. Not busy work vital. Birds ruin planting weeks. Family starves winter if sprouts eaten. Initial real duty. Thrill chest puffs like proud rooster. Return flushed, muddy, someone grudgingly praises like medieval accolade. Work unending. Homeward, sweeping not fancy broom, tied stick bundle. Hearth ash assigned. You attempt mostly dirt relocating, but uncomplained. Gesture matters. Not underfoot or non-flammable. Helpful. Historical oddity. Regions trained young kids memorizing family prayers or chants pre-sentence formation. Repetition key. Parrot lines uncomprehendingly. Latin liturgy not monk-exclusive homes. Lullabies, chores. Sweep murmuring garbled Ave Maria, half-blessing hearth. Toys? Few. Lucky lords or merchants or craftsman kids. Carved wooden animals or painted dolls. You? Sheep resembling rock. Pretend pet or brother throne. Prized till taken. Play or work blur. Mimic chores. Pot stir pretend. Chicken scold mock. Twine waist-tied plowing dirt stick. Not self-expression encouraged utility. Sooner mini-adult appearance, better. Historians. Play labor blend psychologically harmful. Or resilience or responsibility or skill building? Or all known? Childhood lacked soft boundaries, corners, or calluses. Learn doing or failing. Hope notice pre-ox trampling. By sunset, you've contributed. Birds chased, bucket carried, mud fallen, once cried unnoticed. Day ends hearth huddled, half hearing incomprehensible stories. Night dragon slaying or neighboring red sickness gossip. Asleep floor curled like dog, soot-nosed, straw-mouthed. Two, perhaps two, half. Numbers or birthdays unknown, nor poor life expectancy. But no. Work food, noise, trouble, survival, daily duty. Your four, roughly age villagers appraised deciding ready bird shouting field alone. Right-ish. Today, own pot-lid or stick-handed, minimal fanfare, marched shoot patch with confident sparrows. No escort, no oversight. Just sky point, don't crow barley, everyone departs. Terrifying or thrilling. Alone truly first time. Village smudged rearward, forest darker ahead. Task simple, stay loud wingless crops. But four, hour in, stick sword, birds dragons, lid shield. No scared peasant warrior, grain guardian, muddy farmland hero. Till geese arrive run. Bird scarer or bogle boy regions. First real job. Unpaid save boiled turnips or head pats. Stand hours clapping or yelling. Boredom song inventing. Sometimes cloud stare sky ships. Other shadow chase pointless. Lonely, repetitive, slightly enchanted. Small and vast world, realizing bite or peck or eat desires. Lunchcloth wrapped. Bread hunk, cheese pretending wedge, cold porridge lump. Rock sit, food attracting chased birds. Irony abundant, vocabulary lacking. Just scream or arm wave till retreat. Rain, wet, hail, pelted, sun, skin peels or freckles. No umbrella or shade or complaints. Learn head rag wrap mother style. Tunic knee pulled mud avoid. Learn squat or hunch or run or accurate rock throw. Skills now. Danger not solely feathered. Forest thick or dark field edge. Stories. Wolves or witches or bandits or worse. Real or invented wander prevention. Glance trees multiple, half expecting glow eyes or self-playing flute. Stay post close. limits untested. Sometimes nearby kids own plots. Shout cross-fields nonsense or rude gestures. Invent pebble or stick imaginary target games. Brief social moments, but mostly silence or shouting. Own echo barley sea. Return. Legs sore, hands sticky, hair burr-filled. No parade. Weak ale cup-handed. Eat sit. But mother glances differently. You've ventured or returned. Means something. Unspoken. Around this age, local priest notices more. Not creepily hopefully, but Latin prayers time. If family ambitions beyond fields and gender or luck or father alive dependent, you church regular. Stone bench leg numbing, incomprehensible long passages. Pick words. Dominus, amen. Mouth like spells. Real education field or home. Plant recognition, heal or burn or chicken sick. Storm sky signs. Tired goat sound. Pig chase bite avoid. Muddy slope upright. Berries food or hallucination causing. Fringe fact. Medieval England or France kids pre-7 age of reason supernaturally attuned. Asked omen observe. Clouds or birds or dreams adult interpreted. Consulted pre-planting or wedding. Innocent or spirit closest. Little prophets or trustworthier than drunk uncle. But kidding not, you're mostly potential tool. Muddy shrieking sleepwalking project. Opinions irrelevant, effort counts. Weird limbo, no helpless baby, not apprentice. Placeholder, living more work reminder. Historians bicker this age. Carefree outdoor play or imagination? Or labor or obedience slide start? Probably both. Cloud castle moments, waving barley waves, hunger forget. Balanced sore feet, or pecking birds, or constant low replaceability awareness. Tonight straw bed curled, muscles aching, goose shouting, or crow chasing, something felt. Pride, or home smoke warmth comfort. Food earned, woods unlost, birds barley free, medieval win. Let's discuss fun, medieval style. By now, wondering toys arrival. Answer, don't really. 5 now, playtime exists, chore or meal or shout cracks. Play unwatched or no better use. Don't expect wooden train chest or hand-stitched dollhouse. Toys, reachable, unconfiscated. So medieval kid fun starts ground. Dirt canvas or table or friend. Stick scratch patterns, mound castles, stomp dust heroic reenactments. Rock soldiers, pine cones monsters. Imagination monotony sharpened, supervision lacking. Prized bent spoon tanner shop found. Unofficial, loose floorboard hidden. Everything, sword or ladle or scepter till, brother finds or steals or fire melts. Science. Cry, he's slapped. Spoon legend family saga bent iron. Lucky, carved toy-wheeled horse or crude cloth bundle doll stitched dots face. Limbless or voiceless or wardrobe less. Carry like grail till pig eaten. Real possibility. Medieval village pigs. Enormous aggressive garbage hooved disposals. Eat all including fingers slow. Games. Chasing or hiding or throwing. Village kids, ragged, loud, barefoot chaos agents run building laps or animal pen or possibly sharp grass patches. Hide-seek favorite dicey hayloft, napful search or fairy abduction accusation. Fine just napping. You play fire not intentionally, but fire ubiquitous. Danger fun line thin. Straw toss hearth watch vanish. Close sans hair singe. Touch forbidden pot. Learn quick or painful. Friends. Ragged snotty bruised group. Bond shared bruises or noses. Trade string bits or shout nonsense rhymes. Adult copy laugh or swear timing dependent. Learn barely songs. Chanting taunts or local gossip. One miller's wife feet insulting. Joke meaning unknown giggle worthy. Seasonal festivals real fun jackpot though. Fun medieval translated. Feast days, churchyard games, mud wrestling or stick fighting or circle dancing shrill flute owl attracting. Puppet show, 20-minute cloth dragon button eye awe. Puppeteer dark story, 3 deaths or bear-eaten baby. Classic. Event food slightly superior. Honey cake or roasted apples or spiced dough fat-fried dreams. Eat stomach hurt. Circle run vomit expected. Child. Unstructured joy closest. Sometimes traveling performers. Jugglers or fire breathers or musicians. Wide-eyed mouth open watch. Mud or bug bite forget. Dream juggler or air flipper. Then bucket fetch or sibling pull. Dream bones tucked. Then firelight stories. Whispered straw mattresses, mouth past spells. Fairy tales, uncharming warnings. Stolen children's spirits or disobeying boys forest vanish or girls wolf speak unseen again. Woods creatures devour, strangers cursed. Yet beg repeats. Love fear story safe kind till lone forest walk. Quirky, toys dead animal made. Pig bladder inflated or tied. Fantastic ball light or bouncy or horror scented. Kick squealing wobble air till pop. Back rocks or sticks. Scholars debate medieval kid play. Life too harsh or survival focused? Or art? Or written kids' hoops or dolls or board games? Truth complicated. Play yes lying around items post chores or underfoot avoid. Joy allowed unscheduled. Today pot lid banging or mud running shoe lost. Fire collapse. Hand scraped or knees green or nose leaky jug. But smile. Brief minutes no work or no yell. Played or imagined. More than useful free. You're 5 or maybe 6, by now filth default. Dirt not stepped in. Worn. Caked fingernails. Scalp layered. Feet ground so deep bestiary creature. Bathing theoretically done, practically yearly twice. More if offensive role. Washed, cold water standing bristle animal tail lie dipped scrub. So unsurprising every village kid, including you, personal dust or odor or illness cloud. Not sneezing? Coughing. Not coughing? Scratching Latin named. Health relative. Under weather inapplicable, you are weather. Leak or stink or flea host hotel, and worms at least once. But alive, sniffling or limping, smiling, missing 2 front teeth. Infections common or ununderstood. Swollen leg lump, goose fat rub or call done. Fever, warm rag wrap or onion bowl bed under draw heat. If fails, wise woman more onions beer boiled chest poured. Medieval medicine, wrong body part strange soup layers. You sneeze constantly. Bless you genuine concern. European parts believed soul sneeze escape. Demon vulnerable momentary. Every blessing polite or magical shield. Excessive sneezes? hearth rosemary burn or fennel wave face, smells disappointment or ineffective. What defines minor ailment cycle market coin past kids? Everyone coughs or sores, church rash or mucus free. Miracle child, otherwise back crusty wheezing urchins or incense faint avoid. Always big disease whispers capital P plague worst. Not now or year, but remembered. Adults discuss last wave, carts or burning clothes or pits. Wide-eyed here, death skeleton cloaked pointing town. You don't grasp only hard cough, adult tight glances. Sickness spreads always, no true quarantine. Homestay attempts, hard one bed, 3 people or pig sharing. Church special masses. Priest holy water sprinkles muddy mushroom bucket. Someone dies fast. Coughing day, next sheet wrapped chapel behind buried. No headstone rock or memory. Strange belief. Frequent sickness, punishment. Not necessarily God, though option but neighbors or fairies or ancestors. Wrong spirit offend or altar offering forget boom fever. Logic. Medicine or superstition blur doctor exorcist indistinct. Quick recovering or mild fever kids lucky. Others fragile, polite, don't attach. Here hushed over delayed standing sibling. Meaning unclear but adult tone chest heavy. Yes, kids die often. Week, next hut someone, next 3-day prior hide seek boy. Ask gone where. Angels now, end. No modern funerals brief prayer or wooden cross or goat milking resume. Scholars debate medieval constant loss processing. Some. High mortality, emotional numb or pragmatic. Others, grief private or less dramatic prayer or action expressed. Either, few tears. See silence or uneaten shelf bread or mother fire staring post-sleep. But sickness or sadness, life drags. Still floor sweep or water haul. Nose running or old man pipe coughing. Show up expected. Cow's uncaring stomach hurt. Bird's uncaring behead. Pigs eat sick or not. Dark comedy. Rash plague fingers. Fireplace proximity revealed. Or healer pebble vinegar swallow sore throat fix. Try or gag or vomit feet. Next day better. Coincidence or miracle or pebble magic? Who knows? Day, wake rattling chest cough, no fever. Win, barefoot or sniffling bird scare barley field. Shout name sky echo here. Arm wave or laugh or sneeze near topple. Distant bell rings. Someone died again. But here, gross or crusty or life-clinging dirty hands or runny nose. Walking germ pile alive. World, all ask. Night, pre-sleep pokey fingers wrap. Someone's story tells. Mother or oldest sister or onion candle wax smelling 2 doors woman. Stories uncute, no talking animals, life lessons or cheerful sharing morals. Bedtime tales mostly warnings. Don't woods near or green-eyed witch tongue take. Don't sunset alone walk or dead footsteps hear. Don't fire unattended or ash goblin chimney crawl toe eat. Cozy? Stories instructions. Not just. Oral survival guides fear or folklore wrapped. Each reinforces world unsafe, especially kids. Danger everywhere, woods or river or sky or bed under. Creatures' teeth. Shadows' secrets. Mistake last. You clutch blanket scratchy wool, questionable stains. Breathe quietly case something hears. Book unseen or unrecognizable headfall. Stories mouths, not pages chapped lip travel, shifting retell. Grandmother swears fairy baby night steal. Cousin insists goat feet man church behind. Brother claims forest trees whisper unwatched names. Believe all, why not? Supernatural belief not quaint functional. Fairies or demons or ghosts or witches ecosystem part like squirrels or wolves. Church sin or salvation day preaches. Villagers curse or monster night whisper. No contradiction. Hope saints or spirits same day avoid. Changeling story home hits. Odd behavior child blank stare or excess cry or unexpected growth. Likely not real. Fairies steal healthy or leave twisted offspring. Sickly or different cousin? Changeling mutters hand behind. Not mean dangerous. Records family's fairy force. Fire or cold or worse exposure. No stories chest splinter stuck. Family bed near charms. Herb bundles or broken horseshoe or reed woven St. Bridget's cross. Unspecial looking each something. Protect or guard or ward. Door above rowan sprig. Unexplained, just there. Like lung smoke or barrel rat. Forest's scariest landscape looms, distant dark or still wind howling fields. Parents threat use, misbehave, or wood spirits leave. Nervous laugh, real woods things, bandits or wolves or boars. Stories dread layer, bleeding cut trees or ponds, dead surface float always smiling. Sometimes forest dream or wake clenched fists. Yet drawn stories. Whisper kids quiet meant. Act out goblin or saint casting. Fear entertainment. Unknown play. Chase sticks or yell, toe eating crone, giggle collapse. Unaware mocked crone-based lane woman mysterious winter vanish. Villagers' magic belief everything woven. Fever spirit caused or spoiled harvest curse or child tree fall fairies. Always reason never accident or coincidence. Punishment or misstep or imbalance. Learn cautious not animals but words or glances or night silence. Quirky historical. European parts, child protect passing hollow tree or stone arch. Once forest edge arched root carried sick. Mother breath murmured or back carried. Next day better. Coincidence? Unasked. Scholars today debate kid story belief or adult compliance. But 5 or don'ts list world. No fairy belief need stories matter. Feel cold stare spot or wind church steeple groan or animals nothing stare too long. While modern bedtime soothe, yours behavior shape. Message clear. Homestay or parent obey or path never stray. Non-listen consequences. Dark toothy names sundown unsaid. Tonight, sibling lie shared crunch mattress. Sister whispers bell woman village walk silver bell ringing pre-death. Tunic hem clutch wide eyes. Wind shutter scratches. Stomach growls hungry or scared unsure. Sleep drags under. Dream voice filled forest friendly or not. Walk church taller trees, pot lid hand, bare feet, moss sink. Distant something name sings. Wake sore or coughing usual. But tonight briefly fears different face welcome. You are 6 now, which in medieval timekeeping is roughly the age when people stop seeing you as a small child and start treating you as a smaller, less capable adult. The change is subtle but clear. People begin expecting more from you, not just to assist, but to learn things, to recall, to repeat, to heed the initial instruction or face repercussions. There's a tension in the atmosphere now, like the warmth from the flames, persistent and inescapable. You've entered the should know better by now stage of your short, muddy existence. And unless you were born with wealth and a title which you weren't, your education, if any, will occur in one of 2 places: at home or in the hard wooden seats of a small, echoing church that smells of dampness and fading candles. Either way, it's not going to be enjoyable. There's no colorful glue, no group songs, no daily letter-just regulations, repetition, and someone older than the hills barking Latin at you as if it's your native language. If you're a boy, and that's a hugely unfair condition, you might be permitted to study with the local priest, based on your family's ties and how urgently the church needs another basic assistant to serve wine and act like they understand Gregorian chants. Your classroom is likely the chilly rear corner of a church or a monk's cramped room with 1 window and 2 books, neither of which you're allowed to handle. The ink costs a fortune, the pages are invaluable, and you're a sneeze from destroying both. Learning to read isn't assured in fact, it's uncommon. Most peasants never read anything in their lives. But boys showing promise-meaning sons of landowners, clerks, or somewhat ambitious parents might learn letters through hours of chanting, warnings, and the occasional strike with a rod. The alphabet is recited like a sacred song. You learn by singing it in sync with the other boys, your voice bouncing off the stone walls. Each vowel a quiet plea for freedom. You don't comprehend half the words. You don't know why you're memorizing them. Only that it pleases someone when you succeed and angers someone when you fail. The letters themselves seem enchanted odd, pointed marks on parchment that can supposedly speak when viewed correctly. It's all somewhat absurd. And yet you try, because trying is safer than not. Now, if you're a girl, it's a different tale. Unless your parents are exceptionally forward-thinking or eager for a literate nun in the family, your learning is household-based, passed down like sourdough starter. You learn by observing and performing. You learn to thread a needle, to stir a pot without scorching your hand, to spin flax into yarn, to carry water without spilling it over your shoes. These are your alphabet. Your words are counted in bread loaves and clean fabrics. Sometimes your mother or older sister might teach you a prayer whispered as you sew. You repeat it softly, not because you grasp the meaning, but because it sounds like safeguarding, like breath-made protection. Most days, though, education comes through shouting. Adults yell directions while chopping onions or chasing pigs, and you're expected to soak up knowledge like a sponge absorbing soup. If you ask too many questions, you're told, God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. If you don't ask enough, you're smacked for messing up. So you aim for balance. Quiet, observant, and always pretending you knew that already. One strange thing you're constantly taught, whether through church or superstition, is obedience. Not just in deeds, but in thoughts. You mustn't challenge authority, not the priest, not your parents, not the order. Your body isn't entirely yours. Neither is your time. You're a link in the chain of work, duty, and devotion. The sooner you embrace this, the smoother your days become. Resistance is for holy figures and insurgents, and you're neither. There are no school chimes, no prepared meals, no breaks. If you're studying at church, you arrive pre-dawn and depart when your knees are numb and your head throbs. If at home, your session ends when tasks begin, and they always start early. Fringe fact: in some monastic schools, students learned by memorization, not only language but also penalties. Some had precise charts. Mispronouncing a word got a slap. Dropping a wax tablet earned a cane to the hand. Forgetting your Latin, that was atonement and a lengthy talk about the devil murmuring in your ear. You'd assume these spots would be gentler to kids. You'd be mistaken. The only enjoyable part of church school is the occasional melody. You might learn to sing mass sections or a psalm. The tunes are slow, meandering things that lodge in your mind like burrs. You hum them while fetching water or stirring ashes. And if you sing well, someone might even grin at you. That's worth more than food on some days. Beyond the scarce schooling, most of your learning is labor. You're taught to thatch a roof, stack wood, gather herbs without poisoning the stew. You learn safe mushrooms, berries that stain your fingers red, and how to distinguish a sick goat from a lazy one. This is your syllabus. The woods, the flames, the fields, the fevers. The discussions among historians continue fiercely. Was this a forfeited childhood? A harsh preparation for adulthood? Or did children have a different freedom, one without structure but rich in independence? There's no agreement, only pieces. Images of kids herding sheep, verses about wild boys, notes from monks grumbling about students who pass gas too much during prayers. Today, your lesson encompasses all of it. You transport a heavy jug without spilling. You recite a prayer at twilight without faltering. You recall how to bundle nettles without stings. No one awards you a star, but your mother looks from the hearth and doesn't frown. Your brother hits your head a bit less forcefully. The priest nods when you murmur Kyrie eleison in the correct beat. You don't know a lot, but you know enough. Enough to avoid strikes. Enough to avoid hunger. Enough to endure. And in this world, enough is the top score you'll achieve. 7. You're 7 now. The number swirls in your thoughts like a smooth stone. Lucky, holy, old enough. Old enough for duty, for labor, for the solemn nod your father gives you one morning that signals you're prepared to depart. It's not particularly theatrical. No ritual, no farewell meal, just the typical gray dawn, the usual nip in the air, and your mother slipping an extra piece of dark bread into your hand while whispering softly. Today, you're being passed on. This is your first true shift. Not a birthday, not a ceremony, but a sensible change in custody. You've been apprenticed, kind of handed over, loaned out. However you put it, the idea is the same. Your family can't afford to sustain another mostly unproductive mouth, and someone else requires a child to sweep floors and perhaps eventually master a craft. So you depart. If you're fortunate, and again, this whole existence depends on the flip of medieval fortune. You're assigned to an artisan, a barrel maker, a weaver, a cobbler, someone who crafts with their hands what people will purchase. If you're truly fortunate, that person doesn't despise children. They might even have their own, and you join a makeshift group of siblings sleeping on communal mats, snatching dinner bits from each other's dishes, and learning to pound wood without losing a digit. The first day is frightening. You carry a small bag with 2 garments, a spoon, and a packet of your mother's herbs hidden like a secret. The town isn't distant, but it seems alien. New barriers, new scents, new grown-ups who address you as boy or girl without learning your name. You nod frequently. You try to be small and useful. You smile, but not excessively. Smiling can appear defiant if mishandled. You're presented to your new overseer. He examines you like an unwanted stray dog he's obligated to feed. He instructs you to address him as sir or master or remain silent. His wife doesn't smile. She assesses you like a chicken ready for plucking and warns. Don't shatter anything. Your new sleeping spot is a heap of old fabric by the fireplace, beside a fractured jar of nails. The apprenticeship doesn't commence with abilities. No one gives you a chisel and says, "Let's construct something." First, you sweep endlessly. You sweep dust, wood scraps, fabric pieces. You empty waste pots. You fetch water. You scour benches with rough brushes until your knuckles bleed. You're continually tested, not only for compliance, but for stamina. How many hours until you weep? How long until you speak improperly? They're observing, evaluating. But amid the toil, you begin to absorb. You observe how footwear is sewn, how bellows fuel the blaze, how the loom sways in gradual rhythm like a drowsy colossus. You start identifying materials. Quality wool, poor thread, ash versus oak by aroma alone. No formal instruction. You learn via repetition, errors, and sporadic curt directives. You're literally molded by the labor. There was no fixed duration for apprenticeship at this age. It's all vague pacts and vague assurances. He'll remain until he's ready for actual work, your father stated. That could span years. It could be perpetual. Many children never go back home. Not due to death, though many perish, but because they're integrated into the master's household. They adopt the surname. They wed into the family. They transform into something different. If you're unfortunate, and odds suggest you're not trade apprenticed, but servant sent. You retrieve, transport, clean, comply. No skill acquisition. You become an instrument. And while not invariably harsh, the household lacks emotional stake in you. You're interchangeable. Arm break, reprimanded for clumsiness. Cry, do it silently unseen. And if a girl, rules are keener. You're expected to labor, clean, eyes downcast. You learn home arts urgently because too soon you'll be marriage age, or worse, vulnerable to men viewing you as household fixture, not individual. No safeguards, just murmurs, cautions. Stay lit. Avoid post-dark linger. Head low. Girls mature swiftly. Childhoods conclude earlier, often unnoticed. But even amid ash or commands, moments exist. Sneak fresh bread nibbles. Laugh with fellow apprentice over bungled task. Hum mother's old song pot scrubbing. You're evolving into something, someone even nameless. Becoming adept, perceptive, wary, and somehow empowered. There's scholarly contention if early apprenticeships exploited or educated. Some claim medieval kids essentially bonded servants. Others note skill transmission, eventual freedom or land or repute. Both valid. Some abused or exhausted or discarded. Others masters themselves. But all like you started bottom floor broom. And today you sweep. Count blisters or keep silent. Memorize tool motion sounds. Dark knot practice. Listen again better. 7. Unsure if life future or stepping stone. Tomorrow broom awaits. Perhaps hammer graduate. Church is far less thrilling than forest tales suggested. You envisioned gleaming or sacred or magical. Instead, cold echo stone or damp wool smell. Expected attend regularly now, crossed invisible helpless child or small sinner line. Church no play spot quiet suffering place. You suffer, incomprehensible Latin hours, knee-numbing kneel, dizzying incense goat choking. Wear best tunic least mended hair rough-combed pre-departure. Shoes if afforded pinch or sweat unholy. Church short village center walk, but inside temperature drops. Everything darker expected, even tiny window light dust century filtered. Not always family seated. Kids often back or sides adult glare efficient. Shuffle quietly, head bow taut, fidget avoid. Benches tall, feet dangle, knees sore pre-second prayer. Your role. Observe or mimic or absorb piety smoke-like. Priest heavy robes, voice droning Latin river head bob timed. Most ununderstood, but words stand. Peccatum Dominus. Serious or sacred or dangerous sounding. Breath say, syllables forbidden or ancient tasting. Services long longer anything except harvest days or winter sleepless hearth sittings gnawing bread ends. Expected kneel or stand or sit or bow or repeat congregation timed. Off second. Mother arm pinch not hard, understanding enough. If letter-learning priest or monk, also prayers long. Recite Pater Noster chant rhythm, meaning ungrasped gravity understood. Day's priest quizzes words, front others. Mess up? Stick not big, quick flat lectern behind child motivating. Church building fascinating, unencouraged admit way. Altar candle gleams. Saint carved above eye moving unwatched sure. Statues chipped or hand-worn smooth or powerful. No names. Saint Mary or Peter or George or stories terrifying or comforting. Skinned alive or beheaded or dragon tamed then martyred. Sensing holiness no happy ending guarantee. Above rafters groan. Birds there sure. Long sermons. Ceiling crack count or feather drift spot. Few allowed distractions. Talk or laugh or loud attention draw. Ear-yanked chapel out cold stand troublemakers. One fringe fact door sitting cough old man overheard. Sometimes buried church floor under sitting spot. Important. Lords or priests or even children. Foot ground press imagine inches below bones. Night unslept. Church not just God order. Weekly reminder grand miserable medieval existence ladder position. Not top closer bottom priest shoe soles. Listen sin or obedience or hellfires or heaven promise behave lessons. Wall painting chipped or faded. Damned too many teeth creature devoured. Weekly stare, wonder, plumb, steel destiny. Mass ends, bells, or smoke. File slowly, knees aching or stomach growling. Eat later, perhaps evening, but outside, sky under. Mother shoulder claps, did well, today's hug closest. Home, play church, strange make-believe. Sibling line stick wave, holy relic. Mumble Latin gibberish, others laugh, hold. Someone farts, ceremony, shrieking chaos, collapse. Father yells, all chickens scatter. Sanctity sent, muddy feet, or guilt replaced. Scholars debate medieval kid church feelings. Inspiring or terrifying or mind-numbing. Probably 3. You, life part. Mystery or monotony mix, strange beauty or heavy silences. Truth unquestioned. Questioning choice people, you few yet. Tonight incense tunic clings. Whisper learned prayer case. Not full belief enough, seen hurt can't. World stacked against, sometimes superstitions soul sleep carry. Your mouth aches again, a profound, throbbing, pulsing jaw temple. You've ignored, left side chewed, less ground teeth, cloth sucked, nothing aids. Night wake tears, dried fingers, mouth jammed, pain pull attempt. Can't. Teeth rotting, unsurprising. Around 8, now medieval years old enough, baby teeth replaced adult versions, few rotted. Dental hygiene non-existent. No brushes or paste or floss or mouthwash or emergency visits. Clean rag or salt or prayer. Mint chew or ash rub. Maybe. Sugar rare bread daily or coarse. Millstone grit, flour enamel, sandpapering bite. Add gristle or sour wine or improper chewed root teeth, chanceless. Left molar brown spot, decay sign. Pain hits fast or sharp or hot, then dull or endless. Breath awful, unnoticed. Everyone wet sheep or last year garlic. Seen uncle hearth blood, spit bad chew. Cousin tooth pulled, last winter scream remembered. Blacksmith did strongest arms or right pliers. No numbing or clean tools. Just snow-pinned child village echo yank. Not ready, not yet. Say nothing tooth. Wince or slow chew or ache mention I avoid. But jaw swelling worsens. Cheek puffy. Eye spread? Notice. Then blacksmith or knife or worse. No dentist or trained professional, neat tray tools, gentle voice feeling ask. Instead, generational herbal knowledge, superstition mixed. Grandmother mashed onion vinegar, poultice cheek pressed. Burns or rot, smells hold anyway, better nothing. Neighbor clove oil, swears unhad or hot ale had stomach lurch makes. Charming medieval toothache remedy. Cavity stuff, dried frog brains. Another. Mouse catch bone grind powder gum rub. Unsure actual done but monastery written probably happened. Desperate try anything. Family poor yes are, no fancy. Basic. Willow bark chew, natural aspirin pain dulls. Salt suck or mudskin rub fever draw hope. Salt suck or mudskin rub fever draw hope. Sometimes Mother Church candlelight stand close, holy flame sickness burn. Whisper prayers, clenched teeth, voice tremble, avoid. Meanwhile life, chores or water carry or chicken herd or wood haul. Walk half grimace, cold air, exposed tooth, no cry. Sleep badly, dream senseless colors, wake jaw locked or eyes wet. Then morning pain gone. Wake crust, bite no stab or ache. Miracle think till coppery taste. Spit tooth falls, whole root black. Palm stare fascinated or horrified. Too big head lived. Feel proud survived or outlasted. Way have. Show mother shrugs. Fire give or rats take more pain. Hearth toss ember disappear, pain burn imagine. Later jaw aches, not badly. Tooth hole tongue obsession new. Village kids teeth unkept. No pillow or coin tooth fairy. Teeth rot or sickness reminders body breakdown. Learn unattached. Expect fall or black or split. Time matter. Fringe historical. Medievals believed toothaches sometimes tooth worms. Tiny invisible enamel burrow feeders. Remedies. Herb or incense smoke worms. Out mouth funneled. Untried. Scholars today fascinated medieval dental. Chaotic herbal wisdom or nonsense or trial suffering blend. Archaeological, abscesses or broken teeth or beeswax or linen makeshift fillings. Extraction terrifying tools evidence. But you not study. Just day through soup non-weep. Worst, not last tooth. Mouth full each ticking clock. Tonight fire lie jaw sore mouth blood bitter. Side curl cheek warm press whisper prayer. Not Saint Apollonia dentistry patron name unknown yet. Anyone listening fire or saints or own teeth. Please next clean fall. By now you've realized the animals around you are not companions. They aren't adorable. They don't seek affection. In fact, most are scarcely tamed bundles of temperament with hooves, teeth, and a strong urge to topple you for amusement. You've learned to navigate pigs carefully, never behind, never too near. Pigs don't merely squeal and grunt. They rush, they snap. They'll consume anything sluggish, you included. No one softens it. Don't fall by the pigsty is as routine a caution as watch the fire. Both can be fatal, and both have been. Chickens appear harmless until you've attempted egg gathering under a furious hen's squawk. You still bear a forearm scar from the last effort. Geese are meaner, louder, with the icy calculation of a creature aware of your fear and relishing it. At 8, perhaps nearing 9, geese still prompt slow retreats like entering a rough neighborhood. Your duties now encompass routine livestock aid. Not the strenuous parts yet. That's for your father or older boys. But daily maintenance, feeding, cleaning, pursuing escapees back to enclosures. You're the operations scout and runner, dispatched after whichever beast has breached the fence this time. You've spent numerous mornings knee-deep in mud or worse attempting to lure a goat home with only a stick and a path of wilted greens. You clean stalls too, which means shoveling and carting manure heaps with hands that haven't felt softness in years. The odor adheres to your skin. No amount of ash scrubbing removes it entirely. You smell like beasts, so does everyone. You adapt. Slaughter days are complex. You're old enough to assist now, not with the cutting, though some your age do, but with preparation. Water fetching, leg holding, post-knife cleaning. The first time, you nearly retch. The noises, the pig's human-like screams, the warm, dark flow onto straw. Your gut churns, but no time for alarm. Don't flinch, someone advises. It worsens things. You learn to hold breath and observe life ebb. You're instructed to be thankful. This meat sustains the family for days. It's a boon, a grace, and it's also appalling in an indefinable way. You gaze at the pig's glassy eyes afterward and ponder if it knew, if it resented you. That night, you dream of it speaking, questioning why. You awaken sweaty, blood-scented still. Next time, a chicken simpler, swifter, yet somehow more disturbing. You grip its feet while your brother draws back the head and swings the blade. The body jerks in your grasp post-death, feathers ruffling with ghostly motion. You shriek initially. Everyone chuckles. You don't shriek again. No avoidance. Animals are sustenance, work, warmth, attire. You wear their hides, consume their milk, devour their meat, kneel on their bones when falling in the yard. They're threaded into your life. They're also erratic. A sore-hoofed cowside kicks nearly fracturing your leg. A horse nips your sleeve. A rooster assaults your face for proximity. You learn approach paths, methods, when to yell, when to murmur. Fringe fact: in some medieval European areas, animals could face trial. A child-killing pig might be court-tried, sentenced, publicly executed. Justice belief extended to beasts. No such trial in your village, but tales exist. Hanged goat, egg-laying rooster buried alive. Unsure truth, but not bizarre. No distinct line animal property or beings. You're unsentimental not precisely, but name them occasionally. Crooked leg sheep, Benny. One-horned skinny cow, old Laura. Whisper unwatched. Weather talk or secrets. Safer than people, no reply or gossip. Once attempted kitten keeping. Arrived half-starved hay crying. Named or fed scraps or sleeve hid. Mother found or eye rolled gone mourning. Wasn't weak lasted, then vanished or wordless. Asked, father too many mouths already. Cried quietly straw pillow haven't attempted since. Scholarship medieval animal attitudes contradictory. Manuscripts, beasts soulless or expendable tools. Others affection or companionship dogs owner buried or horses named or blessed. See both. Ox slapped or praised same breath. Cat cursed or hand fed. Love untender survival. Today runaway goat village half chase. Bolts, follow. Trip or knee scrape or out loud curse or priest gasp wall behind. Goat thistle patch stops. Horn grab hard breathing rage or relief between. Home lead shin bleeding knee muddy. Mother nods. Didn't think catch. Silent tired. Goat knows something stare. Maybe does. That night fire sits steaming dry clothes. Hands hay blood smell. Dream pig again, this time silent. Just watches. Dinner your house, not meal scramble. No come get it, or cozy table procession candles or napkins. Street brawl spoons closer. 9 now, mastered essential medieval dinner. Elbow sharpness or spoon speed or delicate fair share sans bigger eye contact. Survival, not strength tactics. Meals communal or chaotic or painfully simple. Everyone's siblings or parents, or perhaps never left cousin huddled single bowl or pot, hopefully steaming room center. Nutritional future 24 hours chipped wood vessel rests. No hungry, slurping, or grunting, or scraping, or prayer whisper energy mother. Bowl contents? Pottage likely always. Ever-present medieval boiled grain or root vegetable stew, or sometimes lentils or occasionally meat shred or greasy bone flavor clinging. Not soup edible paste, salted or had or wilted herb remembered. Now then, surprise. Barley lump or turnip chunk or too chewy mysterious. Bread main backup. Coarse or gray or often stale or grit-flecked grindstone. Chew carefully. Everyone premature ground teeth. Side hurt, less chew learned. Younger drool crust gum mush. Did too. Now slow chew hope unnoticed jaw ache again. Eating fast. Food bowl hit spoons attack. No second round or seconds. Grab what can. Learn deep or fast scoop. Bowl tilt direction, protect full elbow radius. Even broth fight. Hunger not kind strategic. Younger brother one spoon dropped hand reach tried. Father hard slap backward fall. Not pigs. Unironically 5 others sharing bowl eating. No laugh. All understood. Manners matter, even dignity long gone. Sometimes cheese bit. Not creamy melting stretching happy. Hard or salty weapon delicacy. Usually edge-cracked mold crease. Fancy cut around. Otherwise chew body later non-argue hope. Holidays only real meat. Salted fish or hen egg stop met pot end. Forward look like modern birthdays. Roasted anything dream. Bones post-chew or sharpened or collected half behind piles toys become. Eat wooden trenchers or sometimes table itself. Bowls down past. Spoons shared. Seen sister stew spoon, then mouth, then fire poking, then stew again. Uncaring. Clean noble concept. Happy spoon exists. Water not first drink. Small beer mildly alcoholic or warm or slightly sour. Safest fluid. River unmentioned things full. Beer thin or brown or wheat-flavored regret taste won't kill. Probably. Feast days cider or rare wine sip face twist. Adults like why? Adults turnip like too. Harvest meal overheard odd fact. Much rabbit timid makes. Much beef aggressive. Lentils melancholy cause. Family unbothers philosophy. Edible holy. No personality alter worry insufficient anything eat. No fixed meal times. Eat food available. Sometimes twice daily or sometimes once. Bad weather or late harvest bowl thinner. Those days quieter. No yell or tease. Just slow, wet single turnip stir too much water pot. Scholars write medieval communal dining culture family together or social bonds reinforce. Technically true, all breathing on or elbowing ribs last cabbage shred. Only reinforced badly want own bowl someday. Fantasize food sometimes. Not abstract, poetic, specific, or detailed. Fresh loaf or honey, 2 spoonful porridge, or unshared roasted apple. Once whole chicken dreamt. Wake drool straw pillow. Tonight usual pottage weird aftertaste or 2 small bread hunks. Mother grim jaw serves sleeves, rolled knuckles, scraped, borrowed stone flour grinding. Doesn't eat yet. Waits or watches. Father finishes, then pot bottom scrapes left. Rule. Adults last if at all. Finish belly half full, then fire sit bowl lap tucked. Finger rim run last drips catch. Tomorrow more or less. Weather or rats or animal moods or gods depends. Not hard think. Hunger patient saint waits. Tonight eaten. At least. You've known years forest not friend. Watches or listens or waits. Barley field edge tree line dense or dark or tangled crooked finger branches. Hearth whispered stories. Don't tell mother start or never return end. 9 now or maybe 10 finally edge alone sent. Not deep just firewood collect. Sounds simple. In or gather branches or back. Never feels. Worn path step off air changes. Quieter or thicker. Trees lean closer listen like. Eyes ground pretend twig purpose. Shoulders tight or breath shallow. Forest smell. Wet leaves rot. Or old something old scent someone else house unknocked walk. Try uncrunch loud. Nothing wake. Squirrel path darts bundle nearly drop. Breath curse around glance nervous. Voice trespass feels. Not only woods fearer. Mother avoids unless must. Crosses self-talking. Things live, she says, window side glance. Not wolves, though, too. Not rare possible bears. Other things. Spirits or teeth. Faceless women or goat-leg men or lost children pride feed creatures. Every forest step gamble. Firewood quick snatch, dead limbs, underbrush fresh broken avoid. Told never living tree take. Remember grandmother said don't like thieves. Never spirit seen really. But strange. Mouth hollow tree or mushroom ring too perfect. Goat woods wandered 3 days back, eyes not right. Uncle same afternoon butchered. Smelled wrong, meat uneaten. Lost woods idea beneath thoughts always. No signs or paths, except animal trails unwanted places lead. Wrong turn, hours or forever circle wander. Trees twist or landmarks vanish or sun east lie even. Bundle light or roots simple, in out goal. Fringe medieval, forest guardians, not saints or spirits older. Green men or wild men or forest fathers bark hidden faces. Watchers, some protectors or others punishers. Not prey exactly, but oldest tree past nod case. Forest rules known all. Never whistle or never name call. Mushroom circle no step or blue flowers no pick or lights no follow, especially dance. Music here, run. No questions, just run, still return. Days few, someone woods in firewood or herbs or mushrooms. Mother sends now old enough or expendable. Strong carry or not yet skilled livestock or spinning. Woods test. This do. More ready, maybe. Sometimes friends with deeper dare. Rocks shadowy clearings throw, then sprint. Loud joke tooth witches or mudmen one quiet. Hear that? All stop ear strain game ends. Always faster leave than enter. Not every forest story horror ends. Healing tales too. Deep wise women sickness root salves or potions no else dare touch. Fox raised lost children or tree taught songs. Want true kindness green somewhere. Never seen. No map none. Forest shifting. Roots move or trees fall or rivers course change. Part no enter deep woods. Grandfather. Deep woods reach no person return. Something else or not at all. Still village depends. Wood or meat or rare herbs. Winter cough death turn keep. Walk need fear. Line caution, foolishness between. Never whistle or never more need take. Leave never back, look case something following. Scholars. Medieval forest fears projections. Social anxiety or hunger or unknown manifestations. But scholars not knee-deep leaves, thick silence cloth like firewood or prayers equal measure carrying. Not 9 alone behind twig snap hearing. Today incident free out make. Arms stick full or breath short or eyes every branch scan. Bundle hearth near drop mother gone while. Nod or say nothing. Ankle mud or nails moss-like but not. Eat quietly or restlessly sleep. Tree face dream. The village festival starts like any other ordinary day with smoke, sweat, and someone shouting. You wake to your mother calling for someone to grind the remaining oats, and your father already out, pulled to the church green to assist with raising the poles. You rub sleep from your eyes, scratch a flea bite, and recall that today is special. Not because it will be simpler, but because it brings music and masks, and if fortune smiles, onions cooked in grease. Festivals in the Middle Ages are noisy, disorganized, and somewhat holy. It could be a saint's day, the celebration of an unfamiliar martyr, or simply a break between harvests. But no one truly requires a justification. After weeks of dirt and labor and seeing your neighbors gradually decay inwardly, you'll seize any opportunity to daub ash on your face, don your shirt reversed, and applaud while someone strikes a wooden cask with a rod. You're nearly 10 now, mature enough to join the revelry, but still youthful enough to be designated the fool, literally. One of the village seniors thrusts a floppy cap onto your head and dubs you the jester's offspring for the day. Everyone chuckles. You bow with as much overdone flair as you can summon, and inwardly, you relish it. The day is a barrage on the senses. You detect roasting onions, tangy ale, the pungent aroma of sheep waste, and incense all interwoven in the air like a muddled benediction. Someone plays a flute poorly, but it doesn't matter. The rhythm is quick, untamed, irresistible for dancing. People stomp in rings, clap hands, yell unfamiliar words. You participate, whirling until your garment flutters like a banner and your head hums. The masks appear next. Some are basic, wooden with eye slits. Others are frightening. One man dons a goat skull fastened to his face with cord. A woman passes with her face whitened and red lines dripping from her lips. Younger kids weep. You don't. You're captivated. These aren't mere disguises, they're metamorphoses. People turn into animals, holy figures, fiends. For a single day, all is inverted. There's a man in a donkey outfit with a tail that swats passers-by as he prances. You attempt to evade it, but it catches your leg regardless, and the assembly bellows with mirth. You feign a dramatic hobble and are promptly bombarded with bread scraps and a turnip. This is part of the amusement somehow. You hurl the turnip back and strike the donkey man directly on the flank. He cheers in approval and pursues you through the throng. Your lungs burn from laughter. Later, someone ascends the maypole knot for adornment, for competition. A reward atop. A modest coin purse, or more probably, a cloth-wrapped bundle of cured fish. You observe boys double your age clamber up, palms slippery from grease thoughtfully applied to the pole. None succeeds fully, but cheers abound. You envision yourself climbing someday, tall and robust, with the crowd chanting your name. But it's not pure delight. There's a sharper undertone to it all, a sting under the glee. During the ceremonial lashing, young men with willow whips dash through the village, striking folks, not severely, but not softly. It's symbolic. Some claim it expels evil entities. Others say it's an ancient custom from when festivals aim to rouse the soil, invigorate the vitality, hold off winter. You get tagged once, a lash across your calves, but it hurts more than anticipated. You chuckle regardless, as required. Then the marionette performance. You've witnessed it previously, but it's always varied. The platform is mere crates and a drape. The figures are rough wood and fabric, but the narratives are untamed. One instant it's St. George slaying the dragon. The next, a hen debating death over a lost egg. The marionette tones are shrill and piercing. The audience roars. A bystander hurls a radish at the dragon's head. It rebounds, and the figure topples. This is evidently the most amusing occurrence ever. You laugh until your sides hurt. You consume fried onions encased in barley dough, crust oily, tough, scorching enough to blister your tongue. Worthwhile. Later, someone offers you a piece of smoked eel. You masticate it gradually, relishing the saltiness, attempting to prolong it. This is the most sustenance you've had in one day in weeks, perhaps months. And as the sun lowers, arrives the strangest segment, the sham trial. A local is hauled on stage, charged with absurdity moon theft, chicken conversation, Miller's wife kissing. He denies with theatrical zeal, now in a donkey mask, the crowd jeering and giggling equally. Guilty, naturally. They bind him to a wagon and parade him village through, chanting vulgar tunes and scattering flower petals. It's half jest, half caution. The village knows merriment, but never wholly forgets discipline. Fringe fact. In certain European regions, festivals featured ritual jesters treated as monarchs for a day, granted fake authority, paraded, then symbolically deposed or even lashed to reestablish normalcy. Some historians think these roles permitted tension release, authority mockery, and rebellion fringe exploration, sufficient to maintain societal stability. You don't ponder symbolism. You merely witness people fire dancing, circle chanting, yelling benedictions and maledictions as equivalents. It seems like another realm rules flex, faces alter, even the priest smirks and over-imbibes. But even this day must conclude. The sun vanishes behind the foliage, and the tunes decelerate. The blaze persists, but folks drift homeward, feet lagging, chuckles fading to hacks. You return to your shack barefoot, legs weary, belly oddly satiated. At night, the village seems altered looser, pleasantly fatigued. You nestle by the hearth, skin still dance warm, ears echoing drums and glee. For one day, the world appeared less harsh, less drab, more vibrant. Tomorrow, mud again, labor again, want. But now your slumbers brim with masks and fire glow. And for once, that doesn't frighten you. You don't recall the fire igniting. You only remember the cries. It starts with a sharp snapwood or bone, unclear. Then someone outside yells your father's name. You awaken, blanket entangled, and sense the air amiss. Not mere smoke-burnt, hot, pressing, like the goose kitchen fire incident, but louder, pervasive. By the time you're upright, the smoke is dense enough to burn your eyes. You hear pounding feet outside, dogs yapping, water calls, and your mother urging everyone out, out, out. You crawl the floor, hacking, pulling your little sister along. The straw bed smolders at the edges. The wall glows red. You don't grab shoes. Outside, the night is orange-lit and frantic. Half the village is awake, buckets ready, forming a wobbly queue from the well. You stand barefoot in mud, mouth agape, watching the neighbor's roof cave in like a deflated lung. Sparks ascend like furious fireflies. The odor is suffocating wood, grease, damp wool, and someone sobs. Another laughs wildly, high, too distraught to assist. The blaze spreads rapidly. Most homes are timber, thatch, and hopes. No fire barriers, no stone bases, nothing but damp cloth slapped on walls and heavenward pleas. You attempt aid, running well to house buckets, but barely lift them. Water splashes out midway. You're shoved aside, head patted, told to join other kids. But you persist, skin heat stinging, heart drumming throat inside. Eventually, your home is preserved barely. The fire didn't originate there, but neared enough to char walls and warp the chimney into a tilted, cracked stone pillar. The neighbor's dwelling is lost, though. The family 5 stands soot smeared in nightwear, resembling ghosts forgetting to fade. One child still weeps, the youngest silent. No one offers solace. They stand, as if intense staring might reconstruct the ash house. In daylight, the ruin is graver. 3 homes vanished, mill roof fallen, well dry. Someone's cow fled chaos unreturned. Everything smells burned fabric, scalded rock, finality. You aid debris clearing, stepping charred beams or melted pots. Heat gone, but left silence nothing breaks. Fires aren't rare. Every village knows peril. Neglected hearth, overturned candle, child lantern topple. Winter, fire crowd warmth. Summer, tinder thatch, spark suffices. No codes or sand buckets or fire rescue, just drowsy water toss or prayer shout. Your father once recounted a valleys over town ground burned. No structure left. All left or died. Story once distant or unreal. Now neckbrush something. You survey own scorched standing home. Door scrap wood patched, roof leaks, floor crooked but here. Suddenly very protective. Double night hearth check. Candle guard loaded weapons like. Slight creak wake fire return convinced. One fringe belief. Fire punishment, not God, but house itself. Mistreated or dirty or disrespected. Flame calls cleanse. Some pre-bed hearth spit pacify. Others ember apology whisper. Unsure belief, but fire mutter anyway case. Village rebuilds gradually. Men new frames raise. Women fresh mats weave. All lend. Tools or cloth or hands. But scant had. No next village donations or relief wagons. Just long days or longer nights or burned fingers. One morning priest ruin visits. praise or holy water sprinkles or ash wooden cross sleeves. Little says, just looks or nods or leaves. Wonder even he answers out. Scholars adore medieval fire study. Read records or court accounts or cleric letters another town burned complaining. But none captures shoe left burning house moment or no return or fire uncaring tomorrow ground cold. Next week village quieter, soft speak, no child scold, no night sing. Animals subdued muffled hooves or twitchy weary eyes. Whole place breath holding fire truly gone wait. But life resumes always. Bread bake or goat milk. You water fetch new roof rain non-collapse hope. People eventual laugh. Different. Tired or lighter or small float trying. Tonight newly rebuilt hearth sit. Fire soft crackles. One stick poke, then careful aside set. Straw crackle bone under lie ceiling shadow watch. Flame like. First days let sleep fall. Winter doesn't arrive suddenly. It infiltrates. First, wind colder or sharper politeness done. Then ground feet under stiffens morning harder walk. Breath clouds. Animals temperature offended look. Eventually sun effort stops. Late rise or early set between gray distant hovers shiver watch unmotivated help. This season most dreaded. Hunger one or cold another both. Dying starts. Already heard next village 2 elders last frost non-survive. One bed frozen arms crossed up not worth decided. Other snow found eyes open. Chicken chasing said. Unsure true but story bear easier. Home generous mostly wind roofed. Walls wood mud or straw patched. Family cracks rag stuff or straw cold side stack or door cloth hang but cold infiltrates. Floorboard seeps or ceiling down or wall gap sideways. Breath indoors fogs. Fingers numb pre-tunic button. No fireplace really. Hearth. Open floor pit smoke upward curls roof hole, sometimes chimney. Wrong wind. Smoke back in. All sit blinking or coughing or red-eyed potato sack huddled. Someone constant feed, twigs or dried dung or burn anything. Firewood precious autumn forest collect. Still insufficient. Wear every layer. 2 shirts or ragged cloak hold trousers breeze, knee flirt or socks want someone else. Worst days shoes sleep. Not warm but off leather freeze or crack. Or sleep borrow. Cold not outside bones in. Knees ache or fingers swell or teeth chatter. No matter curl tight, sleep sibling pressed arms or legs tangle breath neck warm. One turn, all turn fish school but grumpier or blanket steel fight. Eat less winter, everyone. Stores dwindle mother ration careful root vegetables. Turnips or maybe barley or dried beans forever cook or salted fish lucky, but mostly watery or gray pottage, sometimes bark bits undiscussed. Chew meant to. Fresh food memory. No eggs, hens barely alive sad statue coop corner huddle. No milk cows cold or half-starved produce little. Make do. More chew crumb bread or stew mostly broth. Sip slow savor lukewarm mouthful hours. Next taste maybe. Sick, of course. Everyone. Winter cough curses spread person. Damp hacking air sound never stops. Little sister weeks had. Weight fall, face thinner, or voice quieter, see. Mother goose fat chest rub or prayer murmur, but cough meaning no herd before too many. Quirky, some onion bed under sleep illness ward. Others garlic string wear lung protect. Tried both. Still sick but smelled confident. Constantly tired. Cold drains. Wake stiff joint argue. Feet crack or bleed. Lips chap or scab. Worst, no escape. No warm bath or fluffy blanket or home corner cold not king made. Bed shiver or wake shiver. Only change nose thaw time. Scholar somewhere fur-wrapped roaring fire beside rote medieval winters communities closer hardship shared resilience foster. Sure, also death or frostbite or feet smell. But yes, closer. Winter, no privacy. Dried fish packed share all. Space or breath or lice. Only real joy, strange bursts. Joke lands room, wheeze laughter. Brother mass fart, father laugh hold nearly breaks. Cat lap curl, 10 minutes warm toes, miserable forget. Sometimes music, not much. 2-string lute or bone-carved whistle. Tune simple or repetitive rhythmic noise, little more. Dark, magic sounds. Eyes close carry non-cold, non-damp straw or cooked turnip smell. Night sleep wait. Wiggle fingers move, prove still. Breathe shallow, cough, not try. Outside wind pane, something moans. Walls creak or fire sigh, whisper prayer. Not even God, just anyone tomorrow warmer maybe. But no won't. Start small red bump. Scratch absent-minded firewood basket haul, flea bite, think constellation, already skin dotting one more. But itches differently deeper. Nightfall swelled hot or tender surface beneath burst waiting. Mother notices fire near too much shift. First, nothing says, just eyes, narrow hands, armpits keep tells. Next morning, another or head heavy or joints ache 50 years overnight aged. Up try ground tilts or vision edge fades. Back sit suddenly everyone quiet. Moment come, every medieval child warned secretly avoid thinks. Sickness. Not first illness village through. Lived cough seasons or boils or fevers or weird rashes, pretend non-serious someone dies until. But different. Whispered one silence or shadow travels strong men days bone or children overnight corpses turn. Call pestilence or plague or God punishment. Priest divine scouring once. Vocabulary uninterested, just gone want. 2 days, back flat, 2 weeks sit up. Limbs tremble or stomach broth smell turn. Armpit swellings enormous black center purple ringed body inside rot like. Mother constant water or vinegar sponge. Stings, no complain, barely talk, separate others. Hut corner move straw mat pulled away. Old wool curtain sickness keep in or out. Little sister go sees cries. Brother guilty non-sick looks. Hot or cold anymore unable tell. Skin both shift burning freezing heartbeat every. No doctor or trained healer. Childbirth or broken bone usual woman near not come. Door herb bundle leaves then mouth hand back away. Brew that mother calls, and pray, everyone mother pray tells. Think constant now pot stir even breath mutter here. Fringe fact, medieval plague cure live pigeon cut open swelling lay. Bird poison absorb sponge like belief. No pigeon just onion or vinegar poultice skin weak or eyes water makes. Mother handshaking applies anyway. Third night hallucinate start. Shapes ceiling dance no light though. Voices room not. Dead year grandfather outside come tells. No move. Can't. Bones hurt even. Fever fifth night breaks. Or not. Deeper sleep drift maybe. Wake sweat soaked vision days first clear. Hand lift or speak able water whisper mother cup holding nearly drops. Alive not better or healed. Swelling still smaller now or skin blacksmith forge glow stopped. Mouth mildew tastes. Weight lost ribs feel move. But house others breathing still. No else sick fallen, not yet. Weekend walking again barefoot or bent or old man slow. Everyone grave risen look like. Priest bed blesses. Midwife finally in armpit checks. Live, she says, almost disappointed. Now, hear others. 3 huts down, boy non-make. Baker wife fever burning. Someone uncle yesterday buried whole, not deep dogs keep out. Village pits digging plural. Coffins insufficient coming what? Historians still debate actual what. Plague or typhoid or ergot poisoning moldy rye. Arguments bacteria or fleas or rats or shipping routes. Science uncaring. Know something crack smoke village through left silence. Weeks follow life normal not really. Distance keep, doors shut, children home stay told, church packed salvation beg, survivors marked. Not physically though armpit angry scars, but other look. Weary next who wondering. Recover slowly. Weed taste soup eat. Limp walk. Nightmare wake can't breathe, but survived. Not many. Though unspoken treat how, nods or strange deference breadline space. Like rare half-dead or half-sacred. That night Matt lie weak but breathing thank whisper. Who? Unknown. Not God unsure lately where. Maybe fire or wind or own bones non give up. You're still here. That now enough. There's something about death that never fully departs the village. Even when not claiming someone, it lingers outside like persistent smoke. You've known death for years, seen it take linen-wrapped infants, rigid chair old men, field-collapsed steaming flank animals. You've seen death intimately, watched it fix in neighbors' eyes, heard mother shallow grave prayer whisper, and now at 10, perhaps nearing 11, you grasp what most adults won't concede. Death isn't an occurrence, it's routine. When someone passes, the village has a pattern. It's hushed initially. The dwelling stills, and you hear gentle sobs or merely respiration, as if sorrow can't elevate its tone. Then news disperses, not via courier, but through eye shifts. Someone informs another at water gathering. A look exchanged, a nod, a name, and soon all aware. Today, it's old Martha who's gone. You recall her chiefly by aroma sour milk and peat smoke, and how she perpetually sat church door like a curved query. Her digits were root knotted. She offered you a dried apple once. That's sufficient for your personal sorrow. The death custom starts pre-body cooling. Women arrive first, not close kin. They're too dazed, occupied with quietude, but others knowing procedures. They bring fabrics, water, beeswax, subdued tones. They disrobe the body, cleanse head to toe, Attire in finest, typically slightly less patched tunic and saved years lace strip. Jaw tie, eyes close, chest hand cross. You've never assisted, but wall crack watched. Methodical or gentle or eerie. No embalming or preservation, just haste or care. Summer. Next day, berry, faster fly sniff. Winter, cold preserves. Heard frozen bodies ground, thaw, wait, dig. No one wants, not living or dead. Wake home held. All come, some loved her, others custom. Sit benches or logs hands, lap eyes, floor fixed. Body center, candles head or feet burning. Coin family, incense or herb scatter smell mask. Not door open breeze pray. You're permitted in, but not too close. Corpses seen before, not like. Someone dirge sings low or slow, heavy sack snow drag like. Others join hum or mumble. Words barely matter, rhythm counts. Shared sorrow sound. Sometimes bread or occasionally ale. Little eaten but their life dead symbol. Kids told no loud cry or no jokes or no body touch. But you once. Sleeve brush unwatched. Stiff or cold skin jumps contact. Hand quick pull, heart race fire sit. Nothing happened like, but feel still. Cold fingertip lingers, something inside climbed or settled. Fringe fact. Corpse disrespect, wake belief. Upsit or groan or walk even. Prevent. Feet bind or mouth salt stuff or chest scissors confuse evil spirits. No scissors today, but notice string Martha toes tied. Maybe why. Funeral dawn comes. Men dig grave shallow or practical church near liked person farther not. No headstone, just branch, cross, non-rotten too. March others, breath, puff, cold, frost, hard, mud, crunch, feet. Procession quiet. No sing now. Priest pit edge meets Latin mutter unknown, handful dirt, wrapped form toss. Then over. Grave, careful, slow fill. Cross placed. Some weep or others yawn. Life immediate tug back. Cow's milk or bread need. World no pause, even this. You linger not close Martha, but spot heavy ground press like. Wonder here able or left listen. Whisper, apple thanks or stories or survive long old age, teach what looks like. Then go. Scholars death literacy medieval life talk. Idea then people more familiar or comfortable mortality. But not really. Not comfortable, just exposed constantly. Death not philosophical concept neighbor. Sometimes quiet or sometimes cruel, but always around. Later night home fire sit own chest fingers run. Imagine candles head or feet cloth jaw tied people see off. Wonder sister cry or father kind say or bury close or far. But not morbid, just practical. Asleep own grave think. Not strange expected. By now you've ceased pondering what your life might have been. Visions of knights, fortresses, enchanted mentors, and gold coins clinking into your purse. Those belong to a younger you, when you still believed the world could offer unexpected generosity. Now at 11, nearing 12, you've settled into the monotonous beat of mere endurance. It's not valor. It's not calamity. It's simply rising, toiling until your limbs ache, consuming what's provided, and wishing tomorrow isn't harsher than today. Today commences as always, with your mother summoning your name pre-dawn, and your feet meeting the dirt floor before your thoughts align. You're dispatched to inspect the coop, and one hen has solidified overnight deceased. You dislodge it, rigid as kindling, and bring it inside wordlessly. No one comments, but all eye the stew pot as if perhaps this could be supper. Likely not too deteriorated. There's scant schooling in your existence. Probably you never mastered reading. The priest once attempted to instruct you in letters, but he halted after your cousin confused the page's cross for a blade and termed it holy pointy. You acquired a few Latin prayers, sufficient to imitate the chant's cadence. But you couldn't scribe your own name for payment, not that anyone's proposing. Instead, your education derives from iteration. You recognize overly moist bread dough. You can set a trap sightless. You know which pig portion to salt initially, and how long to simmer a bone until it yields no more flavor. You've learned to hone a knife on rock, repair a fractured pail, and convincingly fib about foot washing. You possess calluses in unexpected skin-thickening spots. Your nails are dark half-moons. Your back cracks when stooping to hoist the water container, and it lingers arched too long. You feel aged not in a poetic, sagacious herder sense, just eroded, like a shoe post too many winters. What scant personal time you have is typically spent observing seated roadside, tree-gazing, not precisely pondering, just permitting ideas to flow and ebb. You hum occasionally. No one imparted the tunes, they reside in your bone essence, inherited from vanished voices. Rhyme fragments, peculiar airs older than language. Once your brother overheard and remarked, "That resembles a specter melody." You didn't dispute. Marriage. It's not if, merely when and to whom. You've witnessed girls wed at 12, boys pledged to unseen farms. No romance, merely a deal with marginally more garb. If fortunate, your prospective mate will retain teeth or most and a gentle disposition. Or not, you'll adapt. The cycles merge now. Winter, sludge, sowing, sun, reaping, loop. You don't track time via calendars. You note it by beast births, yield failures, and which neighbor last lost a youngster. Your benchmarks aren't fettered with gatherings, but with duties. Your initial solo wood gathering, your debut restraining the pig for butchering, your premiere all-night vigil warming ailing lamb. You recollect each, not for joy, but as evidence you're enduring. One peculiar custom you've acclimated to is the yearly tool benediction. The priest arrives and flicks water onto plows and hammers and buckets while muttering incantations. You watch from a distance, eyes half closed, wondering if he ever blesses people that way, just flicks water and mends the fissures. That would be pleasant. Scholars love to contend whether medieval children were truly children as we conceive now. Were they permitted to frolic, to envision, to mature gradually into their identities? Some affirm yes, citing playthings, figures, tiny footwear. Others deny no. Childhood terminated upon bucket-lifting capability. Judging by your knees and months without uninterrupted slumber, you incline toward no. But still, there are glimmers, instances where you nearly recollect non-survival burden. When frost crafts flawless spirals on the pane and you finger trace them. When the lagoon ices and the expanse resembles a plummet sky. when hearth storytelling elicits laughter till your flank hurts, not for humor, but absurdity. You envision things occasionally, not splendor, not quest, just tranquility. A smokeless spot, a strawless bed, a day sans name call for mishap. Even now, you anticipate no ease. You merely desire respite. For fingers to cease splitting in frost, for belly to sense replete, for kin to pass one moon without fever. You desire worm-free barefoot strolls, to recline sans tomorrow, wake wonder or wake if. And despite everything, you persist. You rouse, you toil, you transport water and scour vessels and dislodge lice from your garment and confront the sun as if challenging it for one valid reason to cease striving. Reaching this far signifies something. Not to the globe, not to the estate lord or cleric or history scribes, but to you. You outlasted medieval childhood. And probabilistically, you shouldn't have. So, here you are at its conclusion. Not merely a tale's end, but the termination of an extended, odd, frequently grimy, sporadically amusing voyage through what would have been your genuine daily existence if born roughly 900 years past. You've succeeded, sort of. Let's not feign you prospered. You were half famished, perpetually chilled, likely unlettered, spiritually perplexed, tooth deficient, and coated in perpetual mud, perhaps opinionated. But hey, against all probabilities and vermin, you reached 12. That solitary makes you a probabilistic outlier. And depending on perspective, either remarkably impressive or highly unfortunate. The Middle Ages weren't fable. Not for you, not anyone. Sure, fortresses or dragons or tales, but reality. Turnips or tooth decay or fleas or sister cough, world end wonder. Childhood wasn't frolic or fancy era. It was destitution boot camp. No self-discovery luxury, just a live stay long enough others rely or wed or bury pre-midsummer. But amid misery and honestly abundant sparks existed. Shared fire warmth family post bitter long day. Chore between pilfered laughter. First solo fish catch or wheeze laugh make. Even odd customs goat mask dance or shovel bless or moon sing. Moments non-easy life but textured. Yours made. And now, as you drift beneath very modern blanket, very climate-controlled room, possibly snack-filled or absolutely Wi-Fi full, rest easy knowing one thing. You definitely wouldn't medieval child survive. But telling survived. So sweet dreams, time traveler. Don't plague bugs bite.